Good morning, everyone. Or afternoon, nearly, is it? I'm delighted to be here today. I want to first start by thanking y'all. What you do is so important. And I'm somebody who understands very clearly what you do because I've been where you are doing what you do for about 30 years. I sometimes joke that I think I'm the only DNC member who actually goes to her county party meetings. I have been an activist and a leader in the party for more than 30 years. As David said, I came up through the Young Democrats. He came up after me. He doesn't want to tell our ages, but I've known Dave for about 20 years. And let me commend his leadership, which I think was transformative when he was Cobb County Chair. So I'm somebody who knows what you do and has done what you do, and I'm grateful for y'all being here and having the patience to listen to this. So I'm grateful for Dave's support and for his leadership. Y'all are blessed to have a great delegation in the legislature. It's in the state legislature. It's very different from what I have up in Floyd County. I live in Rome. And I want to recognize Representative Eric Allen and Senator Rhett. I think they're still here. I think they already had to leave, but they do great work. Chairman Eves, I've known for a long time too. The work he's done in Fulton County. I happen to grow up in Roswell. So I've been keyed into what Fulton County commissioners do for a very long time. Great to see my friend here from Austell, and then school board member and tax commissioner. So elected officials, local elected officials, I'm one of you too. I'm a city commissioner in Rome. Well, sorry, I was until a week ago. I've served 2 terms. It's going to be hard for me to get the word former out because I've loved being a city commissioner. In Rome, we call it a commissioner, which confuses people because you think of county as commissioner. So think of it as a city council position. And before I was a city commissioner, I went around to county parties telling them that we needed to focus on local elections. Because the same reasons y'all were talking about earlier. It creates a bench. It creates the good, important work that happens at the cities. And so it has been my honor to be a city commissioner for 8 years in Rome. And I think it's going to be the difference in this election and the reason I can beat the woman whose name we're going to try to say very rarely, right? Today, I don't have to belabor the fact that she's dreadful and awful and bad for America and dangerous to our democracy and dangerous to our health, because y'all know that. But what I do want to say is that lots of people want her defeated. Lots of people think she's bad, but it's going to take the right candidate and the right campaign to win in a district that everybody looking at statistics, this delightful reporter here in front of me said, you know, the big smart political science people say it's not a winnable district, even with the fabulous people we've added from Cobb County in the district. And I will tell you that if it was just a random empty suit Republican that we were facing, it would be an insurmountable climb. But she opens the door for us every single day. She really does. You know Republicans who at first were like, oh. And now they're more than just a little bit embarrassed. Now they're angry at what she is making their party look like. And I can't take joy in her making their party a mess. But she picks a fight everywhere she goes. Lately, she's been picking fights with Republicans. A lot of people think the reason that y'all were added to this district is she went down doing what my mom would call showing her tail at the legislature, telling those Republican leaders what they weren't going to do to her. They made her district less Republican. They made this district less enormously white, right? We have an opportunity. In Cobb County, y'all are the key to it. Very much so. And y'all, many of you have been involved a very long time in politics, but I don't know if you think about how the maps change. This iteration that we're currently under for the last 10 years is the first time that Cobb County was not in the Northwest Georgia Congressional District. As a matter of fact, for decades, the congressperson from the district that has Rome in it was from Cobb County. My uncle served as the congressman from 60 to 74, and he was like the last one from up there. to serve in this congressional district because Cobb County controlled it. I've got maps out there to show you the whole district, but also to show you the Cobb County part. So I know you can't see it from where you're sitting, but this is what it's going to look like out there. It's all of Powder Springs, all of Austell, goes over, kisses up to a little bit of Mableton. We've got a couple split precincts there, and it goes above Macklin Road, has 6 precincts above Macklin Road. 4 split precincts, the rest are full precincts. Y'all know how to work your precincts. Y'all know how to turn out voters. And your neighbors are angry that they were added to the 14th Congressional District because they believe that our neighbors in those 10 counties north of here are like her. And I will tell you, there's a sliver of them that are as mean and as loud and as nasty as she is, but that's not what most of my neighbors are like. I can tell you, serving in Rome, these city races are nonpartisan races, so I have 8 years that I've had to serve everybody in Rome equally, because guess what? That's what we do. Dave, you don't go up to your constituents and say, well, before I help you, are you a Republican or a Democrat? You help your constituents. That's what you do. And you have to get ideas from everybody in the community. I have 8 years of accomplishments as a city commissioner give me a reputation of getting big things done, asking tough questions, and expecting answers. Now, I can't think of a better contrast to the woman who's in there now, who gets nothing done but making headlines and picking fights. I brought minor league baseball to Rome. I know y'all know the impact of baseball and what it's been to Cobb County having the Braves up here. Well, I've had the Braves in Rome since 2003. Nobody thought we could do it. We actually passed a tax to get it done. We put it in front of the people to get it done, and only passed by 142 votes. And it wouldn't have passed by those 142 votes if we hadn't organized new people to get involved, who have never been involved in referendums before. And it's been a great benefit to our community, great benefit. 8 of our guys are world champions now for the big Braves, right? It's fun to watch them go up. The work I've done for housing in Rome translates all across the district. You all know this. There aren't places for people to rent that they can afford to if they're regular folks. Our teachers, our nurses are being priced out of the market. They can't even, we used to have sort of this culture, you think, you get out of college, you get your job, you get married, you get your first little starter house. Well, in y'all's county, are there even starter houses left? I spent 1.5 years convincing builders and developers in Rome that there was a market for a house that was less than $300,000. And that every house didn't have to be enormous and on a half acre and have stainless steel appliances. If you give people a wish list, they want everything they see on HGTV, right? But they can't afford that. I've convinced them there's actually a rental market for homes. That's the work we've got to do so regular people aren't priced out of living in our communities. We all share, the Republicans, our Republican neighbors want our communities to thrive. They just see a different way a lot of times of how to get there. We all want clean air and clean water. But the Republicans talk about getting rid of the EPA. Right now, we have carpet companies that have polluted the water in Rome. And we're going to have to spend close to $200 million in Rome, not we anymore, they are going to have to spend that to get the most sophisticated water treatment so the water out of that river is clean enough to serve. These are big issues. And there's a lot done in Washington that impacts us every day. But you know what? We talk about these big issues and these big conflicts, but it's up to your member of Congress to take that appropriated money and make sure it gets to the district and make sure it gets to the people who need it. I know how to do that. I've been in campaigns and politics for more than 30 years. I've worked in the state government. I've worked in Washington on the Hill. I know how it's supposed to work. It doesn't have to be broken. Our veterans shouldn't have to beg for their benefits. Our veterans shouldn't be turned down day one and then have to appeal. My daddy was a World War II vet, and from when I was a teeny girl, I could see that the veterans by that system were, as I put it as a small child, being treated like bums. And didn't all these people serve in the war like my daddy? I said to my mom, And she thought I was crazy because we're at the VA. And she's like, yes, this is the Veterans Administration Hospital. A child can tell you it shouldn't be this way. How have member of Congress after member of Congress gone up to Washington and not fixed it? I will tell y'all, I'm digging in, and I'm going to find solutions, and I'm going to find answers, and things are going to get fixed. I don't believe it has to be broken. And y'all don't deserve for Washington to be broken. Now, can one little gal from Northwest Georgia, whose family goes back 5 generations up there, make everybody be nice and like each other? Heck no. But if we don't start agreeing and working towards civility and working towards solutions, we're not going to get them. So how do we win? With this new map. The new map actually helps. Don't get me wrong, the maps are a gerrymandered mess that have done horrible things, and we're going to have 2 wonderful Democratic members of Congress going against each other in a primary, which is what the Republicans wanted. Let's try not to break apart while we pick which one is going to be the nominee. The good news is our statewide offices don't look hateful. The folks in this race are not being hateful to each other. We all want to beat Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we're going to come together behind whoever the nominee is. But we've got to win this by having neighbor talk to neighbor and telling people it's not about these big issues that we fight about on TV. It's about moving our communities forward. And they're going to have a choice in this race between somebody who is incivil and mean and hateful. I mean, she's like another script for a Mean Girls movie, right? That's not what people want. Y'all, you probably don't know this because you haven't been paying attention to the details in this district because y'all haven't been in it but a minute. Some of you, that woman had her congressional staff that we as taxpayers pay for organize a protest of the largest hospital in Rome at a time last year when the Delta variant had our 2 hospitals in Rome, had 200 patients in there. And she had her team organize a protest saying that you shouldn't be able to mandate vaccinations for staff in the hospital. Her talk against vaccines is dangerous. It's deadly. She thinks masks, y'all, my school board folks, she said that masks will emasculate our young boys. And we shouldn't have to make students wear masks. And, I mean, like, where she comes up with this stuff is beyond me. But it's dangerous and deadly. And folks have had enough of it. I'm going to tell y'all this, because people are so skeptical. She released a poll. I don't know if y'all have seen it. She released a poll because she was trying to keep more Republicans from getting in that primary. She's worried about the doctor who ran against her and made the runoff last year. She released a poll, and they asked some sort of strange question that said, would you vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene no matter who was running against her in the primary? Now, they're talking to Republican primary voters. 53% said they'd pick her over any other Republican voter. That means 47% of the Republicans aren't sold on her. She didn't see it that way. She was like, y'all stay out. I'm kicking the butt of the Republicans who are in against me already. And she's not seeing that a Republican member of Congress should be in the high 80s or 90% with their Republican constituents. She's not there. The door is open. And we have to have the right person who can put together a sophisticated campaign that never forgets that the grassroots, neighbor talking to neighbor, is the way we win this. Y'all know how to do that? I know how to do that. WendyForUs.com, pretty easy to remember. That's my website. I'm going to need y'all to help volunteer, even if you don't live in the part of the district that's now in the 14th. I'm going to need you to help me find people who are there, help me get connected there. I've spent 20 years working in Northwest Georgia, helping organize county committees up there and help them thrive. I've done some work in Cobb County before, but it was a while back. So there's a lot of new people I've got to meet, and I need your help doing that. My social media handles are very similar. Wendy for Us on Twitter and Instagram. My Facebook is Wendy Davis for Us, because Wendy for Us for some reason was already taken there. Some people do confuse me with the Texas Wendy Davis. She's a really cool gal, and I've known her for a long time, and she's supported my campaign. But we're different people. So y'all may have heard a telephone town hall event I did recently that Representative Wilkerson was kind enough to participate on with me.
We had 5,200 people on that telephone town hall event. You know, in Rome, it's so funny. It hurts my heart to say that people come up to me all the time and say, "You're the only city commissioner who responded to my email or returned my phone call." I hate that, because to me, that's part of the job. It's what you're supposed to do. But that sort of accessibility and connectiveness is what you're going to get with me. And again, I'm delighted to have earned David Wilkerson's endorsement, 22 other state legislators so far along with him, scores of municipal officials and former elected officials. Doug Stoner, who's going to speak next, also a longtime friend and endorser. But the most important thing is y'all. I want to earn your endorsement and your support and your volunteer effort. Again, my name is Wendy Davis. Hopefully a pretty easy one to remember. And I would love to be your congresswoman. And I want you to remember, that 14th district doesn't belong to the woman with 3 names. It belongs to the people. And the Cobb County part of it is not currently represented by her. And if we work hard enough and smart enough, your congresswoman will never be that 3-name lady. It can be Congresswoman Wendy Davis. So love to earn your support. Y'all have a great afternoon. Oh, I'm happy to take questions. Yes?
I just wanted to make a comment. So the lady with 3 names tried to run in the 6th district and was too extreme for Cobb Republicans, so they sent her packing, and now they sent her back to Cobb for a revamp. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Thanks, good point. And she gave carpetbaggers a bad name, right? She was gonna run in the 6th, got scared of that. It became an open seat over by us. I'm not really good at humor. I'm a little overly serious woman. And I try to make the joke that we worked so hard to make Rome so fabulous that of all those 12 counties, she picked Rome to move to buy her second $600,000 house. So I guess I should be good for the tax dollars if she was paying them. But she claimed homestead exemption both in Fulton County and in Floyd County. Blamed her husband. But anyway, other questions? Thanks so much. I appreciate y'all being here.